this evening. So happy you were able to stop by. I've been working on a project that I would love to show you. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Oh no! I dropped my crochet hook. Do you ever do that with your threads? I take a little bit of it and I wrap it around and then I give it one little tuck under so that I can find the end of it. I was using this black and I usually stick my label down in the middle. This is Aunt Lydia's Classic 10 crochet thread. I typically use this hook with my size 10 and I have stamped it with a little 9 at the end. This is just some polymer clay that, and then size 9 hook. And then I just work that clay till it's super, super, super soft and warm in my hands. And then I fold it around the crochet hook. And I even got some thumb indentions. I hold it exactly how I like it when it's wet and give it a little squeeze. And when I set it on my tray in the oven, I actually take foil and make like a little hot dog bun, a little boat. And I set my hook in there so that thumb mark and that little curvature at the end that I do holds it nice and tight. Let's see, I also use some DMC, some cotton pearl. What color is this one? It doesn't even have a name. It's one of those numbers. It's a dark, dark gray. Everything has fluff and stuff on it. I used a little bit of this white. This is Aunt Lydia's. It's a Classic 10. And it's from Christmas collection. It's got that iridescent glittery all over it. I think most people probably use it for angels and snowflakes. I use it all year. Anything that's white that can have a little bit of sass, I use this. And I use this tiny little spool. Now this is from Hobby Lobby and it's a DMC. So these two DMCs, these are Classic 10s. These DMCs, now this one does say 10 gauge on it, but like different brands of yarn, the sturdiness, the bulkiness of it, or how limp it drapes is all a little different with the brands. I do like buying these little DMCs because they're on the spool. There's a wide variety of color. I don't have to mess with the little, the floss hanks. Those floss hanks drive me crazy sometimes. I gotta pull them all the way out and rewind them. And that's all I got going on in there. Thank you for helping me organize my supplies. Those are ready to go back on my shelf, and then I keep these in a little fishing tackle box. I'll have to show you my little tackle box next time. They fit perfect in the little compartments. So I spent my evening with Steffi Glaves. We had a great time. Had a lot of fun hanging out with Steffi. What did I make? What did I make? Oh, it's so hard to pick what to do first, second, third. I was hanging out on the moon. I was hanging out, wishing, hooked on wishing. What did I make? Okay, you ready? I'm ready to show you what I made. First, I started out with this little star. And then I found, we had these weights from a birthday party at one time. And it has all these, like, it's heavy cement weight. It's from the $1.25 tree. It's a heavy cement weight. And then it's got all these glittery spikes off of it. And some of them have stars on them. And some of them are just frizzly little spikes. And you tie a bouquet of balloons on them so they don't float away. So I cut one of those little spikes off. I curled the end of it and I wove it through the stitches in my star, and I brought it down. And ooh, he's so little. I attached it to my little astronaut. I'll post pictures. I see it's kind of hard to see. I don't really have a good background. So he's got a visor. She uses puff stitches for his little legs and his little arms. There's some top stitching through there with some color. You add a little bit of fluff and stuff behind his visor so it pops out just a tiny bit. And then he has these, what does she call them? Earphones on the side. But I thought, because there's always creative license, right? I thought it needed a little headband on it so that it looked like he was listening to music. So I did like a little gray headband. I made 2 French knots. I know, Steffi taught me something. Well, she's taught me a lot, but so I did 2 little gold French knots on there to bring that gold color from his little belt down to his little earphones. And then every astronaut needs an oxygen tank. Boop. Kind of looked like a little gray turtle shell. She does have some embellishment tips and tricks in the book. I just did 2 little X's. There's gravity in my house. So yeah. And then that little star comes all the way down to the bottom. He actually stands up on his own. The star kind of helps weigh him a little bit. How I had to bend it and pull it forward a little so that he could actually stand on his own. I made an astronaut in a star balloon. I had a lot of fun with that. It was all single crochet. The puff stitches was the only fancy out of the box anything. The star was worked up nice and simple. She tells you to make 2 and then you sandwich them together and stitch around and add a little fluff and stuff. I wasn't sure if that was going to make him too top heavy. I didn't know. I started with the star first. He's cute. I really, really enjoyed it. I've got tons marked that I want to make. So I think on my next couple of overnights, I think I'm going to try to make like no promises. I'm going to try to make 1 a week. We'll see. I really enjoy it. I like working with the little stuff and some 4-weight or, you know, DK 4-weight or chunky. But I like having like, I call them my big project and my little project. So when my hands get tired of like the little stitches, then I work on something a little bit bigger. I had a great time. Highly recommend you give it a try. It's not crocheting with my sewing thread. I can only imagine. This is a 10 sewing thread. She has a little chart in here. Sewing thread. She doesn't really say. I guess it's kind of hard to say depending on, it would be a 0.5 millimeter hook. This one was a 1.75, I think, 1.75. It's kind of hard too because the book is written in UK terms. So even in her chart, she writes UK hook sizes, US hook sizes, and then the threads all have different, you know, grams and meters and all kinds of. Takes all the fun out of it when you get too much into the little details. Here would be much, much, much smaller in thread. Maybe. We'll see. There's so many other patterns I want to work on. Some will be in thread, and then some will be in probably whatever little classic 10s I have. Thank you for joining me. Hope you're having a wonderful evening. Just wiped out. We had a very serious day of potty training today. Thank you for visiting. I'll see you soon.